Hey guys,
Welcome to Broadway Before Bedtime.
I'm Yair.
And I'm Remy.
We met last year doing Drag the Musical off Broadway together, and ever since then we've basically been nonstop talking about performing, auditions, and everything that comes with being a young actor.
So we thought, why not turn those conversations into a podcast? Each episode, we sit down with artists we genuinely admire and talk about how they got started, what they've learned, and what this whole industry is actually like.
Our guest today has built a career one incredible role at a time. From studying at Yale to stepping onto some of Broadway's biggest stages, he's appeared in productions ranging from Bad Cinderella to Boop, the Betty Boop musical, while also taking on the challenge of understudying one of musical theater's most iconic leading roles.
Please welcome Christian Probst.
Broadway Before Bedtime!
With Yair and Remy.
We love the applause. Thank you.
That was our first time using it, so
Oh,
you're the first
wow.
guest with the applause.
Thank you. I'm
Thank you.
honored.
Yeah, we're so excited to have you. We can't wait. Let's do it. Let's get into
Yeah,
it.
Great,
let's
let's
jump into
go.
it.
Okay, cool.
So let's go from the very beginning. Before Broadway was even on your radar, what kind of a kid were you growing up, and where did performing start to enter the picture?
Totally. I mean, gosh, before musical theater was on my radar is like really early because I got it very young. I kind of come from a performing family. I'm from St. Louis. My mom grew up in St. Louis, but then her childhood was spent in LA because she was on the Mickey Mouse Club on TV. She was a Mouseketeer, and she was on and she was on a sitcom called The Facts of Life. So it kind of like all started with my mom, and then I have two older siblings, and they sang and danced as well. We all kind of grew up doing the Muni in St. Louis. My dad has a great voice, but he gets stage fright. So all that being said, performing is in my family.
Yeah.
But before that, I mean, gosh, I mean that was like my first show at the Muni was when I was 7. So it's like
Whoa.
really early growing up. Yeah. And before that was just like, running around, being like a pretty regular kid, playing with kids in the neighborhood, bike riding. But yeah, I mean, theater has kind of always been a part of my life. So
Yeah.
it's kind of a tough question.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I've always loved that Muni does that. I assume you were like part of like the
Yeah, the
ensemble
Muni
kids.
Kid and Muni
Yeah.
Teen
Oh,
program
sick.
growing up. Yeah.
Was there a specific like performer or person that made you realize theater could actually become a career?
I mean, when I look back on the people I worked with, it's kind of insane. I didn't realize at the time, probably for like good measure, I didn't realize at the time who I was working with. I mean, I was like in the kids chorus of Cinderella when I was 8, and it was choreographed by Jemsy DeLapp, who was Dream Laurie in the Oklahoma movie. Like, I'm like, and like, just the people like, my first show was Peter Pan at the Muni, and I worked with Leroy Reams, who was the original Billy Lawler in 42nd
Yeah.
Street. Like, I didn't realize it at the time. And that was kind of nice because I was just a kid and I was soaking up all these relationships, and they were just Leroy. And, I was in a production of Mame with Beth Level, and she was just Beth to me. So it's really crazy how these people were just kind of my casual friends. And I think that helped me soak it all up and kind of realize that I get to know them better and learn from them without there being a sort of barrier or
Yeah.
weirdness or like adoration between us.
Yeah.
But like I can distinctly remember that production with Beth. It was Mame, and I played young Patrick. Dee Hodey was my Auntie Mame. Georgia Engel, who passed away a couple years ago, she was in it. Jeff McCarthy, who was the original Officer Lockstock in Urinetown, was in it. Like star-studded cast. And I remember bowing for the first time, and I got like the last male bow in the show as like a 10-year-old, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I can like do this. And at the Muni, 11,000 people are clapping for me. Like,
Yeah, you can really do anything.
yeah, it was never scary. It was always just like summer camp to me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I think Remy and I can kind of relate to that a little bit. Like after
sure.
doing drag, like the cast was insane.
Yeah,
Like
Nick
Adam
Adams,
Pascal, Nick
Adam
Adams,
Pascal.
Joey
Yeah.
McIntyre.
Yeah,
like
we didn't
these-
really realize
these
the
cra-
extent until
Totally.
after. I had never seen Rent until after drag was over.
That's
And when
probably
I saw-
that's okay.
Yeah, yes. And when it was, when I had watched it for the first time, I was like, holy crap, like, I have phone number,
Right.
like
And he's just a friend to you.
and a
Yeah.
friend. Like he offered to go out with us, like that. Yeah, totally.
Totally.
Do you
Yeah.
keep in
Yeah.
touch with them?
Totally. I mean, Dee and I are probably still the closest. I still call her my Auntie May, and she calls me Young Patrick, and that was in 2005, so it's been
Yeah.
quite a while. But the weirdest thing is I've worked with so many, I did it for 12 summers. So I worked with so many people that now, even as an adult, when I do a show, like someone just joined Moulin Rouge as a vacation swing from the tour, and he was like, wait, are you Christian Probst like from the Muni? And I was like,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
He's like, you're so much taller. And I was like, well, I was 9. So,
Oh,
so it's been a
that's
little bit of
amazing.
time. There's so many people that I just like overlapped with or knew of that I continue just to see because it's a big family and I
Yeah.
spent so many summers there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you went to Yale,
Yeah.
Ivy,
Yeah.
crazy.
Brag.
What drew you to Yale and like what was your experience when you got there?
Yeah, I mean, initially I applied because my older brother applied and didn't get in, and so I wanted to see if I could get in.
And then you got in. And then you
As
went.
true younger brother, and then I got in. But I mean, when I was
You got to
applying
give him a
to
tour around the campus.
exactly, I was like, let me
Right.
show you what you're missing out on. But like when I was thinking about colleges and applying, I'd always kind of had this struggle of I love academics and I love theater. Like I always loved math and chemistry and reading and history, but also desperately loved performing and wanted to do performing. Um, so I kind of did a wide swath when applying for colleges. I did, conservatories. I did big state schools with musical theater programs, and then I did a couple strictly academic schools, just to kind of see where I would end up and kind of hopefully land somewhere that I could make a good decision. But when I actually got into Yale, that was like the craziest thing, and I was like, oh, now I have to seriously consider
Yeah.
this. Um, and I think I ultimately chose it because I'd spent so much time doing theater. I mean, every summer I'd done the Muni, which was the best thing ever. I was working at Webster University doing their college shows during the year. I was doing stages, Opera Theater of St. Louis, Rep Theater. Like I was doing so much theater that it felt okay to like
Yeah.
not take a
Yeah.
step back, but take a step to the side and still study and learn it, but not dig deep in because I was worried that I would maybe resent it or get
Yeah.
like too much, and I'd done it for so long. So yeah, I chose to go to Yale, and it was like truly the best experience of my life because it's like a very artsy
Yeah.
Ivy League. So there was obviously great academics, but also then I was in an a cappella group. I got to travel the world. I got to, Yale throws
Crazy.
money at you, so I got to put on whatever production I wanted because they would give me money to put on a show. Go to the like do classes and
Wait,
fill in tiny parts at the School of Drama. Like it was amazing.
explain that. What do you mean to the
So like Yale has its own the theater major is more of like a sort of like an academic based theater major, so there are performance classes, but you can like people that want to become theater critics or study the text or playwrights can also do the
Wow.
theater major. It's not strictly performance. um so that the theater major has like a senior projects season where the seniors all put on their final performances, but then there's also an external system called the Dramat organization, which is all student run, which brings in professionals to direct and choreograph like their main stage season, 5 shows a season, 2 musicals. But
Wow.
then every Yale is kind of sorted into houses like Hogwarts and Harry Potter,
Yeah.
and each house has like its own tiny theater in its basement that seats like 300 or 400 people. And so Yale will literally give you like $5,000 or $10,000 to put on a show if you want to. It's crazy.
Whoa.
What a dream.
Yeah,
A
so like
little
my
theater
so
in
my
your basement.
I know. So like my senior year, I put on a production of Hedwig, and then I was a part of people's senior like it was
Oh
amazing.
my
I
God.
did,
was-
That's
I was
like
about-
that's like an off-Broadway theater in your house.
no, no, exactly, totally.
I was about to be
Yeah.
like, oh, I want to go to Yale now, and I was like,
Yeah,
wait,
yeah,
I don't
look
know how
into it.
easy that is.
No, it was amazing, and I mean, people that and once again, you didn't have to be a theater major. There were people
Yeah.
that were psychology majors who were like, "Oh, but I love this show. I want to put it on. Let's do it," and they would get their
Yeah.
friends and do it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Is there
Crazy.
is there something that Yale taught you that now, since working professionally, has helped you like navigate through the industry?
I mean, the biggest thing that comes to mind is, once again, I wasn't getting like a traditional musical theater degree. There wasn't like ballet at 8 a.m. and then music theory at 10 or whatever. It wasn't that. I was kind of making my own. So I was in a dance group. I was in an a cappella group. I did the, the courses, and I was in shows. I was coming to the city to take classes and audition, all this stuff. But my a cappella group, which I weirdly did, for social, it's basically like Greek life on campus. There's so many of them, and it's a big social aspect of campus. But the usual a cappella rehearsal, you'll come into a room, you'll get handed sheet music, and it's like, here's your note, here's your note, here's your note, here's your note, 3, 4. And you kind of like stumble your way through the song and like you figure it out. So that gave me the most amazing like ear training that I ever could have gotten.
That's
so now
crazy.
when I go to a music rehearsal and I'm handed sheet music, I can sight read it. I'm like,
So different than me because, well, I'm only young, but
yeah.
I can't do that. And
Well,
I've been in
when I was your
classes,
age,
but
I couldn't.
I just don't pick it up.
Sure.
And I've seen a bunch of TikToks where it's like when you're in like a rehearsal and they give you sheet music to cite, and it's like that audio from Dreamgirls where she's like, do you know what I'm talking about, Yair? Anyways, can't cheat.
Is it
Can't-
the one
Yeah.
where they're like,
Music.
yeah, I think I know exactly what
Can't
you're
do
talking
it.
about.
Can't do it.
But when I was your guys' age, I couldn't do it either. It was just like being with people who were much better musicians
Yeah.
than me and just kind of stumbling my way through in a safe
Yeah.
environment to being able to do it. And now, I have friends who, when they get auditions that are due in 2 days, they have to reach out to a pianist, have them play the accompaniment, play their notes out, and I just get the music and I go, great, I can do this.
I
Yeah,
fear
that's
I
me,
have to
so.
do that.
But once again, you're young. You have so
Yeah.
much time, and if that's also where you end up. That's totally cool too.
Yeah.
So that was a big thing it taught me. It also Yale, like the biggest thing it gave me was like a big well-roundedness.
Yeah.
Like I took so many classes outside of theater that I feel like um, piqued my interest and made me a more interesting and well-rounded person that I can bring to my regular life and also to my life like as a performer.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm also very lucky to have a mom that's a musician. And I'll be like,
Sure.
hey, I have this sheet music. Can you play it on the piano for me? I need to see if it's the right key. And like,
Thank
That'll do
goodness
it.
for your mom.
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. So let's talk. So college, right? That if you could go back and give your freshman year self like one piece of advice, what do you feel like it would be?
I would say probably, I mean, this is the advice I give to most young performers or people that are looking into it ever, is I say like, don't be afraid to just be who you are.
Yeah.
And that's like with an asterisk of like, also don't be afraid to like push away the box of who you are too and your idea of who you are. I feel like I had a very specific idea of who I was. I was a song and dance man. I loved tap dancing. I wanted to be Gene Kelly. I wanted to do Singing in the Rain. I wanted to do all these things, and that's who I am. But then through friends who were like, hey, you should read this play, or, teachers who were like, "Yeah, why don't we try this character and see how this fits on you? Now I feel like what the idea of who I am and what I can bring to different characters is so much bigger, and I'm less afraid of it because people gave me the permission to try and to fail and then to succeed and then to fail again and then succeed again and tend to learn from that. So that's what I always tell people is only be who you are, but don't limit yourself to what like you think you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you killed college. You graduated college.
Done.
You went into the professional world.
Yeah.
What was like? Where did you begin? What was your first moment where you were like, I can do this?
Yeah.
All of it.
I was pretty lucky. In between my summers in college, I was like working professionally. So my first job after my freshman year, I did a Little Mermaid at Paper Mill with Nick Adams.
Who was Nick and who are you?
Nick was Prince Eric and I was Flounder,
Oh,
I'm so
which
jealous.
is hilarious because also last year I played Prince Eric wearing Nick's costumes. So full circle.
Right.
oh my God.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was my first. I had to like. It started in rehearsals in like April, May, and then
Oh, sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to say that I
Yes.
love when theaters rent out costumes. I just wanted to say that. Isn't
Come
it
on.
so cool?
how cool to like be a part of the lineage and like look in the name tags and be like, come on, who's
Yeah.
where?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Anyways, continue.
So I was like doing finals at Yale and then commuting back and forth to the city for rehearsals, and doing that at the same time. So I spent a few of my summers working professionally, and then I graduated in 2017. I took a year off. There's an a cappella group at Yale called the Whiff and Poofs. I know it's a crazy name. They're the world's oldest college a cappella group, and so I took an extra year off from school to do them and to travel the world. We went to like 28 countries. We sang for Angela Lansbury and all these famous people. It was amazing. So then when I graduated after my fifth year, I did a show out at Theater Aspen out in Colorado, which was amazing. And then I kind of just like started auditioning for everything in the city, anything I thought I could possibly write for. And I was lucky enough being in Connecticut that I was coming into the city doing auditioning a bunch.
I'm from Connecticut. I lived
Oh,
there
where?
for 5 years. Stamford.
Oh, I love Stamford. Yeah, I would always pass it on the New
I'm
Haven
from
line.
Rye in Westchester.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think you're a different line, right? On the Metro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe.
So I was already getting a lot of audition experience, even if I wasn't necessarily getting those jobs. I was still auditioning wasn't scary to me moving
Yeah.
to the city because I had proximity to it. Um, so I did a couple of regional gigs, one in Massachusetts where I met a bunch of friends who I'm still friends with. I did a show in Florida, and then within the year I was working at Book of Mormon, which was amazing.
Wow.
I know, I was very, very lucky.
Where in Florida did you do a show?
At Riverside Theater in Vero Beach.
Oh, okay. It's a
It was
completely different area than where I am. Just wanted to
oh,
see.
where are you?
I'm like near Lake Boca. I'm in Boca Raton.
Okay, nice. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, so I was very lucky enough that within a year I was joining the company of Book of Mormon, which
You're
was
so booked. It's crazy. um, okay, so let's talk about Bad Cinderella.
sure.
So
And
your
before
Broadway.
we start, Book of Mormon was the tour?
No, that was Broadway. So that was my
Broadway.
yeah. So I
That
did
was
the
your Broadway debut.
Broadway debut. I did the Broadway company. I was a swing there for about a year. Then I was sent to the tour to dance captain the tour
Sure.
for a year. Then COVID. Then came back to Broadway for a year, and then I left for Bad Cinderella.
Okay.
Wow.
So it was my part of my life for a while, and even since then, when shows have closed, I've gone back and vacation swung at Book of Mormon for
Yeah.
a day.
Yeah.
One time I hadn't done the show in 9 months, and I walked into a Saturday matinee and just did the show.
That's
my
a whole
God.
pregnancy. That's a long
Literally,
time.
my God.
a whole baby was
You could
born.
do a lot in 9 months. Yeah. Oh
Wait,
my
so
God.
Book of Mormon was right after college.
Yeah, and that
So
was
let's
my yeah.
so let's talk about that.
Yeah.
What was it like stepping into a huge Broadway hit like that?
No, it was crazy. I mean, I knew that I was like perfect for the show. I just
Yeah.
needed like the right timing to line up. And I had kind of a horrific audition experience. It was really great, but my last audition, like my final callback or whatever, I had food poisoning the day before. So I was like, I mean, it was horrific. I'll spare you the details. I was not well. But I had to tap dance and smile my face off and sing and look amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but it was great. And then they told me I would be swinging, which I was like, awesome. And then, I'm like, I don't know how to swing. I've never swung before. What do I do? So that was the biggest scary thing for me. I wasn't scared to be on Broadway. I was so excited. I wasn't scared to join like a long running show, but I was like, how am I going to learn 8 tracks?
Yeah.
Like, how do I do that?
8?
8 tracks, yeah. And Mormon is weird in that, not weird, but tricky in that, I mean, there's parts where it splits into 6-part harmony. So, and it's a very
Each track
singy
is
show.
completely
Yeah.
different.
So, and also each track has like little step out moments or solos or lines. And I mean, also, if you just look at the song Hello, that is like the hardest song to swing at. But I always say this to people, the best thing about swinging Book of Mormon is that if you ever forgot who you were on for, you could just check your name tag. And then, and then you wouldn't forget what track you were on for.
I mean, I think that if you forget who you're on for, you might have bigger.
You might have some bigger
Right.
issues. Exactly.
Yikes.
Exactly.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
it was
check
crazy.
your name tag. So you found your place in a show that had already been running successfully for years.
Yeah.
What did performing such a well-oiled machine and like a comedy feel? And also, you said you're like a singing and dancing kind of guy.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
was
I felt like
comedy.
so it was so fun to be doing. I felt so lucky to be doing A, such like a long running show, and B, such like a beloved show. People love that show. The audiences are still to this day are laughing uproariously and, screaming, clapping every night. So I felt so lucky and cool that was my first experience. And also that, each of the tracks, like I said, has like little lines or solos or moments. So I was like, I'm not just blending into the background as town person 6 in We've Got Trouble in River City,
Yeah.
which is awesome too, but just different. The weirdest thing was that, my Broadway debut was like a random Saturday matinee, and I was crying on stage, and the people next to me, it was just a Saturday
Yeah.
matinee.
They were like,
Because
I just ordered my DoorDash. Like
like
I do
literally
this for
that.
months.
And I'm like weeping on stage because I've had my Broadway debut and they couldn't care less, which was totally fine. But it was a beautiful, wonderful family that I'm still super close to a lot of those people. And like I said, I go back, which is so awesome that I kind of have a perpetual job that's always available to me to go back. Yeah, it was a very, very, very special show.
Yeah. Was there a moment in the show that just never stopped making you laugh? Or just any mishaps or anything that has gone on that you still remember?
The hardest thing, I feel like there's I don't know if you've seen Book of Mormon, but also the Croy twins. Awesome.
Exactly.
It's obviously entirely funny the whole time, but there's one scene towards the end of the show where we've all messed up and we're being reprimanded by the head of the Mormon church. And it was so hard to be serious during that scene, especially because there were kind of still jokes, and so the audience would laugh. And if you've been in a comedy, it is crazy to hear how people laugh sometimes because people have the wildest laughs. And so hearing them and seeing your friends try to look down and be sad and be shaking, laughing because you've heard someone be you can't do anything about it. So that was the hardest thing, was hearing people laugh, which you don't think about, but people laugh so weird.
Oh, that happens in a show where I was in. Me and the person that was playing my brother in the show, we have this scene where we have to go to the guidance counselor, and we just make up an excuse that the reason we did something bad was because our mother died, and these people will have the craziest laughs, and I have to sit there, have to go.
Yes, you just bite your lip, do whatever, do not think about anything else. And I break so easily. So if someone sneezes funny, if someone does anything in the audience funny, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you react to the audience and the fan base? And
yeah, it was great. I mean, the fan base is there were people that had seen the show 500 times.
Yeah.
They were wonderful. I have some cool fan art that people made for me of me as in my different Mormon tracks. Yeah, it just felt so cool to be a part of an iconic show. Right after, while I was doing my last year at Book of Mormon, I was doing a workshop of the untitled Betty Boop musical that would eventually become Boop. And I was working with one of the guys in it, and he was telling me about how he was a part of the original City of Angels and Will Rogers Follies. And I was God, I want to be a part of a really cool show that, people look back on and are how are you a part of that? And he was you are. He's you're in Book of Mormon. He's people in 15, 20 years will be you were in the original production of Book of Mormon. That's amazing. And I was
yeah.
Okay, you're right. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. What was gonna be called if not Boop, the Betty Boop musical? Was it Betty the Boop musical?
So auditioning for the workshop, it was auditioning for literally the untitled Betty Boop musical. Then I think for the presentation, it became Betty Boop's Day Off. Because it was all about she wanted to get a day off from being Betty Boop, and then she ends up in New York City. And then for Chicago, it got changed to Boop. I'm not joking. Boop, the Boop Boop-a-doozicle. And then for Broadway, it just became Boop.
I think that is the best draft.
Yes,
Me too. Yeah,
we
I
got
think you
that.
landed on the right one.
But the little flag posts in Chicago with our banner on it literally said the Boop Boop-a-doozicle. I was
I think I've seen a picture of that.
Yeah, I was how are we fitting all these words on this tiny little banner?
Oh my God.
Okay, so before we talk about Moulin Rouge, Boop, all that, I want to hear about Bad Cinderella.
Yeah.
Original musical. What was it like walking into that and being part of a show that was so talked about, had so many opinions attached to it?
But also, it was an original musical, but it also kind of wasn't, in the sense that it was based off Cinderella and
totally
that element.
And also already had a well-known West End run. It was a transfer / original changes. Yeah. I knew going into it that this show wasn't going to last me for 20 years. I knew it wasn't going to be, like a mega hit, but I knew I had to leave Book of Mormon at some point and to leave to understudy a romantic lead in an Andrew Lloyd Webber show and to get to sing an Andrew Lloyd Webber love song on stage by myself. I was like, sign me up. I'm ready. So going into it in that way, I was like so excited. It was an original show. I was going to be, costumes that are mine, a track that's mine. This is so cool. And I have to say, regardless of the outside opinions or like everything that we dealt with in regards to like thrown at the show, it was one of the most special experiences ever. The cast was just like
It looked like you had the best time.
the most perfect cast ever, the kindest people, the hardest workers. I think having to deal with all of the external stuff made us really bond as a cast. And like I got to become friends with Carolee Carmelo. Like that's the best thing ever.
That's normal. Everyone's friends
Normal.
with her.
So yeah, it was really, really special.
Also, it went like mega viral early on too. Like
I mean,
before
I
you
still
even
wear my
started
little
previews.
fanny pack, and people are like Bad Cinderella. I have my backpack, Bad Cinderella. I mean, it is the show that I like constantly get referenced
Yeah.
in my life the most.
Yeah.
In our dressing room at
Oh,
drag,
we made the TikTok.
like Remy recreated the drawing
The spray paint?
of the
By
thing.
the way, that was we had schooling that day. It was
Okay.
like previews maybe, and they were like, I don't know what they did, but I just started drawing the logo, and
Sure.
they're like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "No, I'm drawing. Like this is my art class."
Good
And
for
in
you.
reality, I was making a poster for the Bad Cinderella.
We had it hung up for like the whole time.
You're like,
whole
this is
time.
actually this is history. Okay, this is a history lesson.
Right.
Yeah, and I would always steal his setting spray,
Uh-huh.
and I was
Ugh.
do all that.
I mean,
Yeah,
you can say what you want, but the thing is, like, if I was going to be in like a flop in my career, it was an iconic flop, and everyone talks about
An
it. And everyone knows what it
iconic
is.
one.
So like,
Yeah, everyone.
I'm fine. I'm happy.
Everyone, even like no shade, but like the older people in our cast knew what Bad Cinderella was.
Dude,
Like
no,
everyone knew.
Everyone knows what it is.
Yeah. Were there any kind of wrapping up on Bad Cinderella? Were there any like experiences from that show that, I mean, you had already done Broadway, but I guess helped you moving forward? Was it just like having a tough skin?
The biggest thing I think was tough skin and not kind of ignoring what people say about your show because, I mean, the majority of it, as always, were people that had never even seen the show, and they were just forming their opinion without even having seen it before.
Yeah.
So that taught me to not do that myself, and also, I mean, the biggest lesson was like just like experiencing from beginning to end the opening and closing of the show. I didn't have that with Mormon. I had the safety of it never even occurred to me that some days you were going to walk out on stage and be worried about how many people were in the audience. Because at Book of Mormon, that was never a thing. It still's running. Like I was never even, it never crossed my mind to look at the grosses, the money it was making, or the amount of people that would be in the audience. And all of a sudden with Bad Cinderella, it switched and I was looking at the website, how many tickets we'd bought. I was looking at, because it was such a different experience.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that has been nice to have that be over and done with, and I've carried and grown from that in my next couple shows. But yeah, that was not a necessarily fun experience to have to learn, and it was tough for people who it was their Broadway debut. That was a
Yeah.
tough experience. But once again, we were like such a tight circle. We like were able to protect each other.
Yeah.
With all that.
yeah.
And
So-
I kind of think we're all guilty of it a little bit of
Totally.
like maybe hearing from a show, especially via social media, and having your thoughts on it. But like, there's been a lot of experiences recently where I've heard that kind of stuff, and then I've seen a show and I've really enjoyed it.
Of
And
course.
I've been like these like theater is so subjective. Like it doesn't matter
Totally.
their opinion. They can be at a completely different point in their life, and it
Totally.
does not apply.
Or even just like momentary. Whatever you ate
yeah.
for lunch can affect how you view a show.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's move on to Boop, the Betty Boop
Yeah.
musical. Which we can't see Boop anymore.
I
But
know.
It's on tour. It's going on tour.
it's on tour.
So you could.
You could go
I-
say boo.
Loved Boop.
Oh, thank
Like
you.
genuinely,
loved it too.
I mourn that show like a dead relative.
I do too.
Like so fun.
It was
I
so
had the
special.
blast. Jasmine Amy Rogers was born.
Come on.
Let's talk about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
and you also did that show with my friend Bob Martin.
Oh my gosh, Bob. Okay, when I was auditioning for Boop, behind the table was Jerry Mitchell, associate choreographer Rochelle Rack, composer David Foster. The person I was most excited and nervous about performing for was Bob Martin because like Drowsy Chaperone is like my favorite thing ever, and I think he's the funniest man ever. So I was starstruck to see him. I was like, everyone else leave, Bob Martin.
Can I
Yeah,
just say that I think that team was like the Broadway Avengers. Like
it was
Rachel,
So
I knew from
crazy.
Dance Moms. I
okay.
like when I was
Yeah,
very little, I was watching Dance Moms. I don't know
sure.
why, but I was like Dance Moms. And
I mean, Jerry, all of them,
Jerry
David,
Mitchell came
everyone.
to
Yeah,
drag, and I was in the audience doing a curtain call, and I looked over and I was like, "Holy crap, that's
yeah.
Jerry Mitchell!"
It was. I
And
mean, it was a musical theater heaven during that time.
fantasy,
Yeah,
yeah.
Crazy.
Boop had
So
such a positive and energetic
yeah.
spirit. What initially excited you about joining? Also, like a show that was like Betty Boop is like
Yeah,
a cult
iconic.
classic,
Yeah.
iconic.
I mean, so like going from Bad Cinderella to Boop, it was so interesting because I thought I did the whole experience with Bad Cinderella from opening to closing, but then I realized, you can do. I did a workshop, then the out of town
There's
tryout,
even
and
more.
then Broadway. So even as like, short lived as it was on Broadway, that show was a part of my life since 2022. So it was like many years in my life. And the weird thing was like during the workshop, I was like, I think this show is really special and really hilarious and really fun. But like, are other people gonna think that? So that was always in the back of my head. But I just always knew it had such a heart to it. It was about so many things. Anyone could see themselves in all the different characters. I knew it was gonna be visually stunning. Yeah, it was just like it felt like such a cool thing to be a part of.
and the show and like memes that are attached to it
I know.
became like a viral sensation
I
all
know.
over. What
Like
was
the
it?
opening number with the tap dancing, the flipping, the black and white switching to the color, like it was,
Crazy. What was it
yeah.
We
like
can go
seeing
see Boop.
like all
All
of
of it.
that?
Yeah.
What was it like seeing that in real time?
Well, I'll say, coming from Bad Cinderella, it was nice to have like good publicity. I was like, oh, this is what it's like to have people want to see your show and
Oh
want to
my
talk about
gosh.
your show. So that was a nice little switch. And one of my fellow cast members was in Bad Cinderella and Boop with me, so we were like bonding over that.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was really cool to see. It was also so amazing at the stage door to see like everything from 7-year-old little girls experiencing who Betty Boop is the first time to 90-year-old women with Betty Boop tattoos on their arms because they are been obsessed with Betty Boop because she's a badass since they were little girls.
Yeah.
Like it was crazy to like see the entire swath of people that were being affected by this show and loving it and coming to see it. That was really cool.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of memes, I think that Hannah Solo should be have a cut in the marketing that production made.
I mean, listen, she gave us a bump
She
in sales.
a bump. Like
Bump
you
in
guys
sales.
blew up.
And that man that she was referencing, give him a bump too, wherever
Oh,
he is.
Please.
oh, I don't know his name,
Have
but
we ever
Find him.
figured have we
yeah,
ever figured that out?
No, I'm sure he was like from Minnesota or something. But like, find
doesn't have
him.
TikTok. Doesn't have
Correct.
TikTok.
Find him.
Um,
Yeah.
did anyone in the company have a feeling that it was gonna like connect with people before the show started?
I mean, Jerry. Jerry
Jerry.
is like, you can, I think people imagine him as like this, his name is in all caps letters. He's on the
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore of like modern day musical theater, Hairspray, Kinky Boots, Legally
Yeah.
Blonde. He's Jerry Mitchell. But like in rehearsal and in the audience and in auditions, he is that chorus boy who just loves musical theater and who grew up doing it and loves it so much. And so hearing him talk about the show in Chicago, in the workshop on Broadway, hearing him respond to it every night, like choking up as he talked about the show, I was like, no, I know this show's gonna be special because he's seeing it and he's also put so much heart into it,
Yeah.
that it can't possibly not.
And
Yeah.
I can definitely see him as that, like in Legally Blonde Search for Elle Woods, when it was
Totally,
like
you
the
get to see it.
final two, and
Oh,
it was like
yes.
Autumn or Bailey. I forgot which one was performing. But there's this one shot of him watching, like, oh my God, you guys. And he's just so, like, starstruck and
Yeah.
just, like,
Yes.
in the moment. I love that so
And,
much.
and,
Yeah.
and that is still him. He loves
Hashtag
it.
full out.
Yes, he lives by that. It's not put on. He lives by that, and he shows up 1,000% every day.
Yeah. When that show announced closing, a lot of people were really upset.
Yeah.
I was in the
How
middle
are-
of dance class. I started screaming.
Yeah, really, really
Aw.
upset. And like all of like I'm forgetting the hashtag, but the Tony Award
Yeah,
performance
yeah, totally.
moment.
Yeah.
And with all the signing, how did you guys react to that during your last week, like your final stretch?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, you can kind of see it coming.
Yeah.
You're seeing the audience, you're seeing
Hmm.
the ticket sales, you see that weren't nominated for Best Musical, whatever, these things. You can kind
Yeah.
of like see it coming. Um, so and then no matter how much you see it coming, still when you finally know is like the worst thing ever. But then it's like, okay, now we've been given the news that we've been wondering and dreading, and
Just
now
sell it. Yeah.
now we can enjoy for like the next, I think we got what, like a 2 or 3 week notice. Um, so it was wonderful. I mean, I will say it was more emotional for me than leaving Book of Mormon or closing Bad Cinderella. That show was so special to me. I wanted it to be so much more. I thought it could be so much more. I think it just didn't end up in the right place at the right time, maybe, or find the right people. It also came in like in the busiest season ever. Um,
Busiest. Oh my
yeah,
God.
like if we had come
Yeah.
in this year, I think it'd be a whole different story. Um,
I think that would have been the case with a lot of shows last
yeah, of
season.
course, it
Yeah.
just happens. You
Like
can't
Dead
control that.
Outlaw, rest in
Totally,
peace.
or like Real
Killed
Women Have
it.
Curves, all these
Oh,
shows. Yeah.
We just interviewed somebody from Real
Oh,
Women.
awesome.
yes.
I never got to see it, because they were the same timeline as us,
Yeah.
and so that one was tough, but it was really special to have those last moments and to
Yeah.
like really just like remember the show. And the nice thing is that like it's going on tour, so I'm gonna take my
Yeah.
niece and nephew to go see it when it goes on tour. It'll have
Yeah.
a future
Aw.
life. And
Totally.
that's the coolest thing because now I know that like, I had a few bit parts in the show and I'm like, oh, that's my track. Like they're playing
Yeah.
me. I did that. And
That's
from the
so cool.
workshop to Broadway, like the few little bits and lines I had like didn't change. They got bigger. So I was
That
like,
is so
I was a
cool.
part of that. Working with Bob Martin,
Yeah.
like doing all this, like that's me and that's
That is
small but
so
really
cool.
cool.
Yeah. I have to say, I loved that season so much, in my opinion.
It was a great
There
season.
was like Gypsy, Real Women, Boop, Floyd Collins, like all of that.
Sunset, like there were great shows.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sunset.
It was a
And
great
I
season.
mean, we all knew she was gonna get a nomination, Miss Jasmine, but like her getting a nomination
For
and then
it's,
she's alongside like
I
Jennifer
know.
Samard, Megan Hilty, Nicole
Literally,
I think
Scherzinger,
she
Audra
definitely could have won
McDonald.
in another season.
Totally. I mean, it
Totally.
was Legends and then Broadway debut.
Yeah.
It's
But
crazy.
still
And you know,
crazy, Tony nomination.
Yes.
insane. And
Yeah.
I always would say this to people. I was like, no shade to anyone, but Jasmine is the full package. Like she can sing, dance, and act.
Listen, I saw
That is a
I
total.
saw every performance in that year, and I, unbiased, still think that she should have won. I thought that she created an original role.
Me too.
She did character, she did funny, she did drama, she did
Me too.
dancing. She was doing it all. Yeah, she's the real deal.
Love it. Oh, rest in peace, Boop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Moulin Rouge, which is
Okay,
your
Yeah.
current
fellas.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. So, Moulin Rouge is one of the biggest spectacles on Broadway.
Yeah.
And also, as I'm thinking about this, I think every show you've been in has gone like really viral. Like
I
Moulin
mean,
Rouge has had moments, Book
sure.
of Mormon, Boop,
Yeah.
and Bad Cinderella.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Also, I just wanted to say, Remy sent me that video of you and Kelsey Watts doing that
Huh?
driver's license video. It was so good.
Thank you. Thank
you know what
you.
it really made me think of?
What?
You as Dr. Palmater and Kelsey as Jenna.
Let's put it out there. Let's do
Yeah.
it. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
What was your reaction the first time you stepped into Moulin Rouge?
So, without realizing it, I have never seen any Broadway show that I'm about to be in until my first day of rehearsal. I told myself I wouldn't see Book of Mormon until I was in the show because I
Uh-huh.
knew I was going to be in it. So my first time seeing it was my first day of
Yeah.
rehearsal. Obviously, Bad Cinderella and Boop were original, so I could never see them.
Yeah.
And then I had never seen Moulin Rouge until my first day of rehearsal.
Yeah.
So they were like, I had my rehearsal and they were like, are you going to watch the show? Like, I'm sure you've seen it. And I was like, I've actually never seen it. And they were like, you're seeing the show. And they're like, don't think about your tracks, just watch the show. And when I walked into that theater for the first time, I was like, I mean, and even still, there's like a pre-show that we all do, and watching people walk into that theater, it
So
is like they're
cool.
seeing Cinderella's castle for the first time. It is
Oh my God.
unbelievable. And then getting to watch the show, I mean, spectacle, money, luxury, romance, tragedy, comedy, like that show has everything, and I didn't expect to love it as much as I do and did.
Yeah.
I think it is such a remarkable and magnificent show that scratches such a specific itch for people. And actually, weirdly, today is the 25th anniversary of the movie coming out.
Are you on tonight as
Yeah, I've been doing my regular track, and then I'm playing Christian this Sunday, which is super exciting.
Oh,
That's
Um,
so
uh,
exciting.
yeah, it's such, and I'm still in awe of moments that I catch and that I see, and like even just like being on stage when you first hear that banana banana, like it is people's jaws drop, like it is so amazing and special. Yeah,
Or, I mean, you don't get to watch it because you're the one doing it, but the curtain rise.
I know.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
it's
dream
amazing.
is to sit in like the seats, not like out, like inside of the
Yeah.
runway.
Oh yeah, the can seats right there.
there's like
Yes.
this really awesome new trend happening on Broadway that I'm so here for, where they like extend the
Yes,
set into the lobby, like Cabaret did it, Rocky Horror
yes,
did it, you guys did it. The
making a
seating's a
full
little
thing.
different, Drag did a bit of it.
Yes,
Period.
I love it. Immerse the
Oh,
whole world.
I did you ever get the chance to see drag?
I didn't, you guys. I'm so
We
sorry.
have no, it's okay. We we
You're
have
like, I'm
this
here to
like
yell at you right now. That's the whole point of this interview.
You were on Broadway.
we have this like runway coming out, and like it's like so cool. It comes out into the audience and all that. We have
Oh,
these Faberé seatings and all that. I feel like if we were to have like our own theater, I would have loved to see them make it like a whole like
yes, a full
drag
experience.
bar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, please, would love that.
Yeah.
So you're currently understudying Christian. Like,
Yeah.
that's one of the most iconic leading roles on Broadway.
It's pretty cool.
Like
What
ever.
did that responsibility like mean to you when you first booked?
Yeah, I mean, my first thought was like, can I do this? Like, it's like the male alphabet. Like,
Yeah, totally.
it's so hard to sing, and I know that it fits my voice well, but like, I was like, can I do this? They think I can, and I think I can, but like, when it comes time to do it, like, will I be able to do it? Um, and like doing it for the first time, I have to tell you, I raised the sign and like my hands were definitely shaky. But after that moment, I could not have been more relaxed and more chill. And also for my first show, I'm gonna brag on myself. I didn't have a put in, and I had never run the entire show from beginning to end.
Oh,
That'll
I
do
did
it.
that. I did that show without knowing any of the technical elements, never wearing my costumes, anything.
we had a
So that was
situation like that, didn't we? Oh
it
yeah.
just
Yeah, we did.
happens. Yeah.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
Second preview. We had
Yep.
a
These things happen.
Yeah.
It's
totally
crazy, and I love understudies and swings so
They
much.
make it go on, yeah.
Yeah.
But like the biggest moment I had was I had my like last costume fitting, and when they put my Roxanne leather jacket on me for the first time, I started tearing up because I was like, I've seen every bootleg of all these Christians singing Roxanne. I was like, and
You
now I
do
have
the opt up?
yeah. And I was like, and now I
Yeah.
have my own leather jacket. It's mine. It says my name. It's made for my body. I was like, this is mine.
Sorry, one
So
second.
cool.
Christian Probst, Roxanne.
Yeah.
Bootleg. Sorry, sorry.
I'm dead.
It's definitely somewhere.
It definitely is. I'm sure we'll find it. What?
Yeah.
What's something about Christian that maybe people wouldn't understand until they like played the role
Sure.
or spent time with the role?
Yeah. I think, I mean, the first thing off the bat is like how hard it is. I think a lot of the Christians have made it seem easy. I mean, Aaron Tveit makes everything seem easy,
Yeah.
right? Our current Christian, whose name is also Christian, he makes it seem really easy. Um, but it's like so hard because his whole show is an uphill climb, and all of his hard songs are in the last 30 minutes. He sings Roxanne straight into Crazy Rolling, straight into sobbing and when someone's dying in your arms, and then straight to like the last Come What May. Like it's truly the most difficult thing I think I'll ever probably do. So that's the first thing. Um, and I guess the second thing would be the fun thing for me about doing it is like really I feel like it's incredibly well written and crafted, and that you kind of can just go along for the ride from beginning to end, and because you're telling the whole story, you really get to start out as this wide-eyed, bright, smiley Midwestern boy who's every night I'm not acting when I'm like looking at the Moulin Rouge, like that's just me. And then you really get to ride the ride of meeting this amazing woman, watching her descend from the ceiling, and then falling in love with her, and then losing her, and all these things. Like it's somewhat as hard as it is to technically do. It's really easy to just like emotionally ride along the ride and experience the story as it comes to you,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is nice.
How long have you been in the show for?
My first show was October 3rd, so very recent.
So recent.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. October 3rd.
Mean Girls
You
Day.
know what day it is? Have you learned anything about yourself as like a performer going through this experience and playing such a role with such a fan base? We're
Yeah.
so attached to it.
Yeah, the biggest thing for me, as I said, like, I mean, kind of bookending this conversation is, I used to think I was this song and dance, Gene Kelly musical man,
Yeah.
and my track in Moulin Rouge, including Christian, is the first show I've never had to dance to audition for. There was no dancing involved. There wasn't tap dancing. There was none of that. So
Even
I
your ensemble track?
Nothing, because my ensemble track is pretty limited dancing wise,
Sure.
because I cover him. And so like it's been very cool to watch myself and be like, oh, wait a second, like I don't have to rely on that. I can sing the heck out of all these numbers. I can act out of all these numbers, and I can also be fulfilled and feel like there isn't a part of me missing when I'm doing these two things.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it's been so cool to have. I mean, I have the best support system and friends and family and professors ever. I've had probably you could probably fill two theaters with the amount of people that have come to see me go on as Christian.
Oh,
Um, and all of them have been like, I didn't know you could do this. Like I knew you could, but I didn't know that you could do this. And so that's been really cool to once again realize that you don't know where your limits and where your barriers are, because as you grow up and as you try different things and get exposed to different things, you can always push them back a little bit further and find new things in yourself that you're capable of doing.
mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great
It's been the
advice.
best. I love Moulin Rouge so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. Remy.
Wait, before we move on, I want to talk about some of the people who have joined
Sure.
Moulin Rouge.
Sure.
Specifically, Miss Megan Thee Stallion. What was that like?
Totally. Oh, I thought you were going to say my new best friend, Bob the Drag Queen, because we still text.
Oh my god, and Bob the Drag Queen.
We,
You
we
know
text, we call, like, I'm best friends with Bob.
I have a question.
What?
Were you
Yeah.
when Megan the Stallion was there, for like example, like
Right.
was she was she like distant, or was she like
It's like it's like a weird balance to strike. I mean, because I'm an understudy, and I understudy Christian and the Duke, and the other actor, his name's Jack. He understudies Christian and the Duke. So for rehearsals, we're both always going to be there. One of us playing Christian, one of us playing the Duke. So I was in rehearsals with Megan for 4 weeks and Kelsey at the same time. So I got to know them both, pretty well in like a tiny rehearsal room. And she was so lovely and personable. At the same time, while having a security guard and a publicist and
Right.
a photographer and her team all around her at the same time. So I would say that I got as close to her as like is possible for a mega Grammy winning celebrity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
wow,
And,
that's
and
so
Bob
cool.
the Drag Queen.
Yeah.
I think like
Totally.
Megan joined so fast that I didn't even get to focus on that. But what was
Sure.
that like? Bob the
Yeah, I mean the
Drag
cool thing about Bob, and he said this on his last show, he like made a little announcement during the encore, and he got like so emotional. He was like, "My dream was to be on Broadway, and I moved to New York City to be on Broadway, and like, thank you for giving me this gift." And so it was really
Aw.
cool to see someone of that caliber and who
Yeah.
an outside person
They had the same
you might
dreams.
think has achieved everything. They
Yeah.
still have the same dream as us, and like it
Yeah.
meant so much. Um, yeah, he was wonderful and like hilarious and would make me laugh so much on stage. The cool thing about Megan joining the show was that it brought a whole new audience of people to shows. I heard people in
Yeah.
the audience were like, "This is my first musical. Like, what else should I go see on Broadway now? Because I really loved this." So it was creating a whole new
Yeah.
group of people that are falling in love with musical theater
Yeah.
and Broadway and want to go see shows.
Yeah.
Also, the whole Megan Thee Stallion concert during the encore,
Oh my god.
crazy.
Yeah, I never thought I'd be dancing to Body Yaddy 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 on a Broadway stage
Did you
in a
guys have
tutu.
like a rehearsal for that, or like?
Yeah, so
And was
whenever
it Megan's idea? Like,
so whenever a musical artist joins the show as like Ziedler, that track, they add whatever songs they have to that part of the show.
Really?
There's
Oh
always
my
like
God.
there's always a spot where they can crop and add a few songs.
oh,
Who else has
think
done that?
So it first started with Boy George, who was like a famous like British artist and like 80s singers. They added a few songs for him. That was before I joined. When Bob joined, they added his one song "Purse First" at that point, and then for Megan, they added like a medley of 3 songs.
Yeah.
So we had a quick rehearsal. The nice thing is that they always just repurpose choreo from the show.
Sure.
So it's no one's learning anything new. That's just like a different order to steps we already know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
If it's almost bedtime. It's
Yeah.
almost bedtime. So we're gonna end our podcast with our favorite part, the rapid fire questions.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Okay, I'm ready.
Let's
Okay.
do it.
Let's go. Okay. Favorite Broadway overture?
Gypsy, without a doubt.
Yes.
You know, when I saw this is supposed to be rapid fire, but
We're
when I saw
pausing the rapid.
Gypsy, when I saw Gypsy, I didn't. I mean, I've seen like a regional production of it, but I forgot maybe
Sure.
how that overture
Bum, 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 bum. Oh, it's so
Phone
good.
off immediately.
Yeah, come
Looked
on.
up,
Yeah.
and the people around me who were still talking was like,
What are you doing?
Be quiet.
Be quiet. A
mystery.
5 minute.
I had a dream, a wonderful
Good.
dream that you would be quiet during the Gypsy
Thank you.
Overture.
If you could take a costume, prop, or set piece from any of the shows that you've been a part of, what would it be?
I guess I would say the elephant in Moulin Rouge.
Okay, yeah.
It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do you have a name for it?
I wonder if I'm sure they do. I've never asked.
Yeah.
I'll ask tonight when I go to the theater.
Perfect.
Dream revival that you would be able to join tomorrow.
I mean, probably Singing in the Rain. It's always been my dream to do that show.
Yeah.
And to play. I mean, I got to do it up at Ogunquit, and when I tap danced in the rain for the first time, I just started crying because that was always my dream. Yeah.
Favorite cast album?
I love the Nine Revival cast recording. That has a very special place in my heart. I also love Light in the Piazza. That's been a big one on rotation recently. Weirdly.
Adam Gettle.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
great.
come on.
Yeah.
Favorite Broadway theater?
That's a good question. Huh. I don't know if I have one. I feel like the Music Box is so adorable and so sweet. Um, but it's got to be one of the. I mean, probably the Schubert. It's just like Broadway
Yeah.
on the outside, and it's like just that. Yesterday I was leaving the theater, and like the sun was hitting 44th Street, and all those marquees. It just is like Broadway capital.
Yeah.
So probably
Yeah.
the Schubert. Yeah.
I love the Gershwin, in my opinion. The only
Oh,
thing that I wish I could add,
The oh,
when you go in the orchestra, it's very steep to go
Sure.
down and up. I would love to add some steps there.
Okay.
Whoever's listening,
Yeah.
let's get that set up.
so
Thank you.
my favorite theater is probably the Gershwin too, and I think I would get rid of that rake.
Yeah.
And I know it was like back in the day, but
Sure.
The stage.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
when
I haven't been to that theater since I first saw Wicked in 2005.
no, it hurts.
It's been a
Like,
little time,
it hurts.
for sure.
What's your most used app on your phone?
Like besides like the annoying and like daily ones, I use the New York Times Cooking a lot because I like to cook a lot.
Ooh.
Oh no, sorry. What am I saying? The New York Times crossword app. Every morning I do the crossword, so it has to be that.
Also like to cook a lot.
Yeah, and I love to cook a lot.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
Most chaotic backstage moment you've ever experienced.
Gosh. I mean, for myself, it has to be I was a swing at Mormon and show starting. Great. Sit backstage, laptop up, movie on, dinner ready to go, phone rings. You're on in the next number. I was like, this show just started. How do we, what do you mean? They're like, you're on, someone's back is hurting, you're on. I was like, okay, like forget about dinner. I looked like this, so I had to shave.
Oh my
So in a
God,
span,
the movie.
so correct. In a span of like 5 minutes, I had to shave, do my hair, put on my makeup, get my mic on, get into costume. I walked onto the deck and walked on stage. Didn't have time to think about who I was playing. So that was
Good
crazy.
thing for the name tag.
See, all of a sudden the name tags are
in
coming
handy.
in.
And then finally, for our final question, which we like to ask everyone, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Oh wow. Like generically or like generally in 10 years, I would like to see myself still performing and still in love with every show that I do as I currently am. Obviously there's days, it's hard when you're doing a show on Christmas Eve. It's hard when you're doing a show on New Year's Day. When you're missing your family and things, but on the whole, I feel so lucky to be doing what I do and to have truly loved every show that I've done. I've never had a bad cast. I've never had, in my opinion, a bad show. So in 10 years, I would love that trend to continue and to not have any down or negative moments and to still be like, when I go see anyone's show on Broadway or any show and like the lights dimming down, it is the most exciting moment for me. I'm
Me
like
too.
a 10-year-old kid
Yeah.
and it's just like, it is truly the best thing ever. And
Totally.
I feel sorry for anyone that doesn't know that experience, but I'm so glad that all three of us do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That's a
thank
wrap.
you so much.
Yay!
This
This
has
was
been
awesome.
so much fun. We are so
much
happy
fun.
that you got to
Of
join
course.
us.
Me too. Thank you for asking me.
Of course. Thanks for coming on. And
Break a leg
have
tonight.
a good night's sleep. Break
Thank
a
you.
leg.
And go see Moulin Rouge on Broadway.
Come see it.
Come see it before it closes. When?
August 30th.
August 30th.
Go see it before August 30th.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining.
Thank
Of course,
you.
you guys.
Have a
Good
good
night.
day.
Bye.
Bye.